the mileage that you get. Oh, this would upset the environmentalists so much. It is time to do a cold start of this beast. This, of course, is Moto RO USA's bike, the VMAX. Yeah, that sounds pretty badass. The VMAX is, I think, one of Yamaha's most interesting bikes. You know, Yamaha's made great bikes throughout their entire history, and I'm a big fan. You know, of course, the Tenere 750, Super Tenere, the R, the FZ1, the FJR, but this bike is unlike any other Yamaha. The engine itself came from a touring bike, or at least the configuration, the V4. So this bike's engine was on a touring bike called the Adventure Royale, and then Yamaha put it in this thing. I'm sure they did a bunch of other stuff, and this thing's got this thing called V-Boost that I don't understand really, but over 7,000 RPMs. Apparently 2 carbs feed the valves or whatever, and it gives it almost like a turbo like performance. This thing is just a raw bike. This is really unlike any other bike. This is like a dragster. It's a drag bike that they made for crushing muscle cars or something. It's hard to tell who they made it for. This was mostly a passion designed by Yamaha. Sometimes you get that. Sometimes like designers will go like, yeah, we don't care if we lose money. We want to make something cool. You have very narrow handlebars, and they're not flat. A lot of the modern bikes these days shifting on this is a little on the clunky side. It's tough. You know, everything about this bike is like rough and mean. It's a mean bike. You can't be nice riding this thing. You just can't. It's not that type of bike. This is a hooligan machine. There's something about this bike. It's got so much character. A lot of Japanese bikes, they're guilty of not having character. They're universal Japanese engines, but not this. This is not a universal Japanese engine. This is a V4 from Yamaha. Even though this feels like a standard seating position, you're kind of forward a little bit like a sports bike, but your feet are higher up. So it feels like your thighs, like your femur, is actually like completely level, and your feet are back, and your arms are kind of stretched, or not stretched, like you're kind of sitting inclined to the front. So the shifting in this thing is hard. It's like you really have to manhandle it. Same thing with the throttle. Same thing. It's like tight. Like you have to. It's uncomfortable for long periods. There's a lot of negatives, but you also have this. It pushes you back. The seat, there's no grip at all. One of the things that Yamaha did was put the tachometer down here, so you can't really see it. I don't know why, because I think the tachometer on a bike is probably important. I use it a lot. I like to see my revs when I'm riding. But Yamaha decided to put it over here. I mean, just look at it. The indicator lights on this bike are right here. Neutral, turn, oil level. Here's the turn. No left or right. You have a high beam, you have fuel, and then you have a empty button, which I don't know what that would be for. probably some sort of accessory. And then you have your temperature gauge. Yeah, it pushes you back into the seat. And, I mean, I'm not going that fast, but the bike sounds like it's just going at terminal speed. And this is a great sounding engine, man. I don't know, I guess it reminds me of something out of Mad Max. You don't get this bike if you're the type of person that wants to go get groceries. This is not that bike. This is not a bike where you go and get your baguette, your bread and your cheese, and you put it on your bike. No, this is a bike where you go and you go steal candy from babies and doing burnouts in the middle of the street. Let's look around this beast. Of course, really big V4, and this one is carbureted, but you know, this is the same engine that's in the Venture Royale, and the Venture Royale is a touring machine, so pretty interesting. And of course the VMAX, V I believe is for V-Boost. This is a power cruiser according to Yamaha, but really it feels more like it's a dragster of some kind. It's kind of a wild machine. It's so different than what I'm used to seeing. Just look at this. This is a tank carb. It's like routed to the carb, and it does something. Very complex machine. Yamaha really did something with this that I have no idea what to do. And then you have adjustment for the carbs there. Motoro USA told me what they did, but I wasn't sure. It's something about the mixture. I don't know. So there's a key there. I imagine that's to lift maybe the seat or remove the seat. And a cover here. You have foot pegs for a passenger. I can't imagine you wanting to carry a passenger on this thing. It's got a nice exhaust. The exhaust sound is perfect. And of course, this one's got like a updated headlight, which I think looks really good. Doesn't get hot because it's LED. Nice fender, 2 discs up front, and it's a 110/90/18, so larger wheel. You have this massive with the valve stem pointing to the left, because you can't really feel this thing if it's straight up, but it's a massive rim, and the tires are humongous on it. You know, it does feel like a dragster. You're wondering, where's the gas tank? Well, this is not a gas tank. Where's the cover? Where's the filler? The filler is here. There's these 2 tabs on each side. They're like these little ring things. I mean, you would never guess that this would be like that, but you pull it in and it releases the little lumbar support for the seat, and you have your gas cap right there, which is still lockable. Very odd about this bike is the circular round seat. Most seats they have a little bit of flatness, but one thing I found out is, like, if you put anything on it, including gloves, it'll just like slip right off. These round seats, and look at this, no texture to it, so you just kind of slide out the back. In a way, it reminds me of the first, or I guess the second generation of the Speed Triple, with the 2 headlights, just the muscular type of look it had. This has that same sort of thing, except it's very much a dragster bike. What's interesting is that the fuel reserve, usually there's a petcock on old bikes that have, you know, carburetors, is you have a fuel reserve and you have to reach for it using your left hand. Oh my god, I almost let this. Oh my god, I think I already hit. Did I just hit? Oh my god, I think I hit reserve already. I'm actually going to go this way. Ah, man. I hit reserve at 85 miles an hour, or 80 miles on the tank. That can't be. Yeah, I hit reserve. Oh my lord. There's like a lack of power. Jesus Christ. That's a small ass tank. It's not small. I think it's like 4 point something gallons. Alright, let's fill this thing up. How do you put this thing in here? Jesus. This? What the hell? Honestly, that's so quirky. I have no idea how. There we go. Okay, the arrow is pointing up. That's awfully quirky here. To this, I am sorry. When you drive a Tesla, it feels like you're just driving an electric shaver. This is a real bike. What about speed cameras? No? The mileage that you get. Oh, this would upset the environmentalists so much. I gotta take this to one of those little things where they close the road and I start revving, doing burnouts. That's how this bike makes me feel. It's a bike that's all about feeling. It brings out the best in people. There's the V-boost. It almost feels like the tires are slipping. Holy smokes. So much torque. Oh my god! Every time you see a straightaway on this bike, it's a race. Here's a tip to riding a Yamaha VMAX. Make sure that you sit all the way back in the seat and your butt should be touching the lumbar support, because what happens when you open up the throttle, you're going to be thrown back. The third gear roll on. Oh! My hands are going to fall off from twisting the throttle. This is something that you're going to be doing often on the VMAX. Oh my god, this thing is just so crazy. Well, squids, that's the end of the ride for today on the VMAX. I enjoyed this bike, but it's really not for the faint of heart. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure you hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.